ReliaQuest Bowl, LSU and the Wisconsin Badgers face off on New Year's Day. This game, January the 1st, a noon Eastern time kickoff on ESPN2. The game being played at Raymond James Stadium in Tampa, Florida. LSU nearly a double-digit favorite in this ball game. Tigers favored by 9.5. The over-under set at 54.5. And I wonder how that will change because the big news, guys, as we move into our top storylines that we got, I believe it was yesterday or 2 days ago, is that Jaden Daniels, LSU quarterback, will not play in this football game. He will opt out. And you heard our guy Blake Ruffino over at AYS Sports. Guys, I think it makes sense, right? I mean, Jaden Daniels won the Heisman Trophy, had nothing left to prove. He's got a life-changing event upcoming in the NFL draft. And as much as I hate it, as much as you hate it, guys, the ReliaQuest Bowl, and especially for a program like LSU where the playoff was the goal and you were expecting big things, competing for a national championship, it's not worth putting your future at risk for a ReliaQuest Bowl trophy. Let's just call it for what it is. The positive of this, if you're LSU, is that Garrett Nussmeier now gets an early audition for QB1 to see what you've got at the quarterback position. And LSU can now gauge, okay, and Garrett Nussmeier can now get his feet wet of, okay, this is what it's going to be like to be the guy and prepare to be the guy. So Nussmeier will get that early audition. He will take the snaps, and he will get the start at QB1 as Jaden Daniels has opted out. And again, guys, we've seen Garrett Nussmeier play. We've seen him play well. So how much of a step back, if any, will there be for the LSU offense against Wisconsin? Now, what I think is interesting in this game, guys, it's two different ways to win, right? You look at these two teams. LSU, fantastic on offense this year. One of the best in college football. Awful defensively, which we'll talk about more in just a second. Wisconsin, not great on offense, but has a really, really solid defense. So again, something's got to give, right? These two teams, they found ways to win ball games in different ways all year long. Of course, year one in Madison for Luke Fickell. And LSU just been combating one of the worst defenses in college football all season long. And guys, I just mentioned that LSU defense. When you look at this game, guys, how can you trust the LSU defense? Because if you look at the numbers purely, right, if you look at the numbers like the offensive points per game, this game looks like it should be a blowout, right? This game looks like there's no way Wisconsin's going to keep up. But I don't have faith that LSU guys can stop anybody. I mean, if you're struggling on offense, the best remedy to gain confidence and get things going, just go up against the LSU defense. Now, if LSU plays up to their talent level, they've got plenty of talent. They got plenty enough good players to make life hell for Wisconsin, right? They got plenty of good players. But we just haven't seen it all year. We have not seen LSU play up to their talent level all year. And at some point, you are what you are. And this LSU defense is what it is, which is bad. I mean, they are really, really bad. 104th nationally is the LSU defense. Now, with Jaden Daniels out in this ball game, guys, which of LSU's playmakers are going to step up in this one, right? Somebody else, I think, has got to carry the load. I think it's going to be a lot of Garrett Nussmeier being the facilitator, getting the football to his playmakers. Malik Neighbors, Brian Thomas Jr. on the outside, of course, Logan Diggs at the running back position. With no Jaden Daniels, you also take away a lot of the running game and his rushing ability. How does that affect what LSU wants to do and what they can do offensively, and which of those playmakers steps up? Because, again, somebody is going to have to step up for LSU to move the football effectively and move the football often in this game. I think also, guys, something really interesting to watch is the turnover battle in this one. LSU, one of the best in college football, +6 in the turnover margin. They take care of the football and they get the football off of people. Wisconsin is at 0. I believe they turned the football over 13 times this year, if I recall correctly. So turnovers could play a big role. Obviously, when you're a double-digit underdog or nearly a double-digit underdog like Wisconsin is, guys, you're going to have to win the turnover battle. Wisconsin, I mean, if LSU wins the turnover battle, guys, this game could get ugly. This game could get out of hand. So Wisconsin going to have to find a way to stay in the fight, with the turnover battle, get a couple turnovers off LSU, maybe get a couple turnovers off Garrett Nussmeier starting at quarterback, and then you go from there. But LSU has shown they're really, really good in regards to taking care of the football and for everything their defense has not done this year. They have been able to get the ball off of people. That might be their saving grace yet again. Now, to lock in a pick for this game, a prediction. An interesting matchup, to say the least. Again, guys, it's a tale of two football teams in the way they've won football games. Wisconsin, not a great offense, been good on defense. LSU, a terrible defense, but the best offense, or one of the best offenses in college football. No Jaden Daniels. How does that affect LSU? I'll be curious to see, too, guys, how that affects the spread. Does the spread stay at 9.5, or do we see it start to come down? I like Wisconsin covering that spread, but I think Ole Miss, LSU will win the football game. Garrett Nussmeier, guys, he's not your typical backup. This is a guy who's played a lot of meaningful snaps, a lot of meaningful football for LSU. I think he'll be good, not great. He's not going to be Jaden Daniels. Can LSU get a running game going without the legs of Jaden Daniels? Can Logan Diggs and that stable of backs they have, can they get something working in the run game? I think Garrett Nussmeier simply needs to get the football to his playmakers. You don't need to be Superman. You don't have to be a superhero. Just get the football out, dish it out to Malik Neighbors, Brian Thomas Jr. Let them handle the rest. I don't trust LSU's defense. Bottom line, guys, I do not trust them with everything I can give them. It's one of the worst defenses in college football. That being said, though, I think LSU is going to have a little bit more than Wisconsin. I think this is actually going to be sneaky, guys. One of the more entertaining games of bowl season. And I think LSU does enough to edge out Wisconsin to overcome that putrid defense one more time. And I think Garrett Nussmeier gives LSU fans some confidence going into the offseason in regards to the quarterback situation, the quarterback battle, and the prospects of him being QB1. Lock me in, guys. I got the Bayou Bengals winning this one by a final score. LSU 34, Wisconsin 28. And again, 28 is more than Wisconsin's average, but I just don't trust the LSU defense, guys. And maybe this is the game where the SEC talent really shines out for LSU, and we see them finally live up to their potential and play to their capabilities. But, guys, we just haven't seen it all season long, and we've seen them get pushed around by everybody they've played against, and it doesn't make any sense, and the talent should be better. Things should be better. But with that being said, I think LSU is able to overcome it. I think they're able to win despite it, as they've done many times this season. And I do think LSU take down the Badgers. Final score of 34-28.